So we are discussing about your permanent way and how the track constructed and what are their layers. So now we discuss about some little bit about your permanent way. So basically the track on a railway or railroad, which is also known as your permanent way. So in a simple way you can remember that which is the way which made permanently for the rail, that one is your called permanent way. Okay, and which is the combination of rail, sleeper, ballast and all the fastening material. Okay, and this permanent way is the structure which consisting of the rails, fasteners, railroads, sleepers, ballast and underlaying all subgrade. So railway track is also known as your permanent way, and the purpose of use of permanent way is what? The purpose of use of permanent way is to provide the permanent facility for safety and quick movement of normal commercial traffic between the starting and destination station. So whenever we are providing this permanent way, it is the help and it is the facility which gives for the peoples or mankind for the normal commercial traffic. Okay, so we are using the railway instead of your highway for taxi or buses. It is because of it is economical. Okay, how? Whenever we are following your taxi or buses, there are five people can travel in your taxi, and within 30 to 40 passengers can move or can travel by the buses, and that cost is also vary. Instead the traffic instead of the taxi and your buses, in railway there are so many passengers are travel at one time from one place to another in a safety and comfortable, and the economical point of view it is also uh, cheap, and it is very smoothly travel from one point which is your starting point to destination point. Okay, and by traveling in the railway there are no traffic congestions occurs, and which is reduce the traffic congestion. Okay, and so that's why we are using your permanent way, and the railway is very much suitable for all the passengers to move from longer distance as well as for the shorter distance. So permanent way cost nearly about 40% of the total investment of railway. So whenever we are using about 100% to the railway, only 40% we are using to make the permanent way. Okay, so this is your track image. Come to the next slide. Next is your what is the requirements of an ideal permanent way. So we discuss about what is permanent way. So now we know what are the requirements, why we should require for the permanent way. So basically requirements of an ideal permanent way is to achieve high speed and better riding qualities with less future maintenance. So this permanent, by the help of permanent way, the train which move in high speed and which riding is better quality, and whenever your permanent ideal permanent way is most suitable and constructed in a better way, then that will require future maintenance is very low. Okay, so next point is why we require ideal permanent way, that is the gauge should be correct and uniform. So what is the ideal permanent way? That gauge distance should be correct and uniform. Basically, gauge distance means what? Here see the diagram. Between the two rails, these are the two rails, okay, which make combinedly make a track, single track. So whenever the distance from two rail inner to inner portion, that is called is your gauge. So in an ideal permanent way, the gauge should be correct and uniform, the distance, okay. And the next point is the rail should be in proper level in a straight track. Two rail must be in a same level. So whenever your rails are provided in a proper level, there is no downward and upward portion, both rails are provided in proper layer, then the track will be made in a straight level. And the next point is the alignment should be correct. Alignment means it is the margin line, okay. So for example, when you are writing in your note copy, you just put a straight line or margin in the copy for left side. By that your note copy is looking very smart. Like that, whenever we are providing a proper alignment to the track, then our track made very straight and there are no difference of gauges. So next point is here, what is the gradient should be uniform. So whenever your curve or superposition provided in the track, in that portion the gradient should be provided uniformly. That means in all the portion of the track, whatever the gradient is provided, that will be same in all the level. If we are providing 1 in 50, then the gradient should be provided same in the according your total track, okay. That's why the train can move comfortably and safely. Then what are the next point of your requirement of ideal road, ideal permanent way? That is, the permanent way should be sufficiently strong against lateral forces. So whatever the lateral forces means directional forces by the wind or by the train move, whatever. So the lateral forces which are acting on the permanent way, that is should be sufficiently strong, that the permanent way, then the movement will be benefit or the movement will be properly done, okay. Next one is the curves which provided in the track should be properly designed, then it will be called an ideal permanent way. And next one is the rail should be in proper level in a straight portion. Proper amount of super elevation should be provided to the outer rail above the inner rail on the curved portion of the track. So about super elevation, we are already discussed in our first chapter what is super elevation or cant. So whenever we are providing the super elevation on a track, then that will be in proper amount, that is from outer rail to inner rail, okay. So next point is a even and uniform gradient should be provided throughout the length of the track. That not mean some portion you are providing gradient, after left some portion then we will apply some gradient on that portion. That will not properly, and that is not called your ideal permanent way. So whatever the gradient are providing on the track, that is provided throughout the length of the track. Next one is the tractive resistance of the track should be minimum. So first of all we discuss about what is tractive force. In your first chapter, tractive force means which acting by or which applied to your track, okay. So which done by your track, that is which attract your sleeper or which attract your train, okay. So that will be should minimum provided, we are providing that should be minimum. And all the components, parts such as rails, sleepers, ballast, fixtures and fastening instruments which are satisfyingly design requirement, okay. So next point is what is the requirement of an ideal load, that is all the point and crossing which laid in the permanent way that should be properly designed and carefully constructed. Next one is uh, why we are providing that is properly, because whenever the rail is not fixed with slipper properly, then that will be loose or there are arises some creep or damages due to the applied load of the or by applied the stresses of the train. Okay, so that's why whatever the fastening instruments we are using, that should be designed properly. Next point is here, it should be provided with proper drainage facility so as to drain off the rain. Okay, so next part we will discuss in our next slide. Thank you.